Welcome to Voices of Leadership. I'm Chris Atwell, and in each episode, I sit down with the leaders shaping the future of the manufacturer's rep industry. Real stories, real challenges, real growth. This is where leadership comes to life. All right. Hey, Bo, thank you so much for joining me today.
Absolutely.
We're going to take a few minutes to really dive into the lessons, the mindsets, the experiences that shaped you as a leader and have been driving your agency forward. All right.
Okay.
And really the purpose is to help other leaders learn from you,
Right.
so that they can grow, learn, and step into their leadership at a better level.
Okay.
Awesome. Good. So question number one, when you think about your leadership and the journey that you've been on so far, I'm curious if there's one defining moment that may have shaped the leader you are today. What is that?
Ooh, that's tough because there's so much to that. I'd say when I first came into this role, I was naive a little bit. With our agency, I was I had many peers being part of a sales team and then next thing you know, I'm supposed to lead this team.
Right.
And I'm like, wow. I mean, the guys that I've kind of worked with and talked with and consulted with, and now I'm like, wait, I'm going to step in this role where I'm going to be doing it for them. So I would say I was probably a little intimidated and scared.
Wow.
To that fact that, oh my gosh, now, how am I going to lead this team? It took a little while, for probably to build some confidence that I was able to do it. Obviously, folks had confidence in me to be able to do it. I wouldn't have had this opportunity. So it took maybe a little while. And when I say a little while, a year, maybe, once I started kind of getting into the role. And it was a slow pace getting into that role, which was fine. But I would say, and that was in about 2015 is when I kind of was designated to be, part of the leadership team at Smith and Stevenson.
Mm-hmm.
So it was probably a couple of years when I'm like, all right, let's take this. I'm feeling confident coming to meetings like this and talking to other peers and getting some good feedback and asking questions and listening and learning, because I think I do better listening, to people, and things like that. So I would say there was a definite time, but probably a little things over time got me to the point where I was confident enough to say, hey, let's take this. And also with our manufacturers, when you start working with our manufacturers and with the line cover we have, which is a nice set of companies that we do represent, and talking to their leadership roles, that, hey, they value me as being their leader in our market. And that was probably when I realized that, hey, you know what? I'm here. I'm ready to go. Let's just take this to another level and keep continuing to grow.
Perfect. Yeah. So you climb up the ranks in the business. Everyone that you're working with are considered your peers, your friends.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Your colleagues, and then you get promoted. There's this time frame where you feel uncomfortable about that. You're like, hey, you know what? I gotta get used to this. And over time, you're learning to lead, and it really sunk in when you were working strategically with your manufacturers partners, and they started
absolutely. I mean, and because that's who we are, I mean, we're as only as good as our last sell, and in that case, and so we got to figure out how to take that and move it forward. But it was our sales team, they're a fraternity.
Yeah.
I mean, they talk every day amongst themselves. They don't always talk to me.
That's right.
And sometimes I hear things like, wait a minute, what are y'all talking about? Which is fine. I mean, that's the way it was. And I was part of that. Next thing you know, I wasn't getting those calls like, what are you doing about this? How are you doing on that? And then, and so forth. And then you have to realize that, you know what? You're not going to be a part of that anymore, which is fine.
You got to let it go.
Got to let it go. And then, and go up and say, hey, you know what? We're all together anyway. We're on the same team. This is how we're going to approach it forward. And also having a great partner, which I do, has helped as well, because we're some things I'm better than him at, and some things he's better than me at. If we can mesh it, then we can take it off.
Yeah. And every leader has to deal with some tough moments, some challenging things. What would you say is the most, I guess, the toughest moment that you've ever had to face in your leadership so far, and how did you overcome it?
I'd say the toughest moment I've had up to this point was probably around, I can't remember the year, but 4 years ago when we had to let one of our veteran salespeople go, who was not only a salesperson for many years, almost a 30-year veteran of our company. And it just was time to make a change. And I would have to say that was the toughest day of my career so far, because it was the right thing to do, something we had to do. And I couldn't take it personal. And we just had to make that decision, move forward. And, it's not personal, it's business. And honestly, it was probably the best decision we ever made, because when that happened, we took a little step back in that market, but then within the year after we found the right person, it changed overnight, and now it's solid. So that was a tough day, and we had another one. I had another one recently when someone decided to leave the company.
Yeah,
not because we great employee, wanted to, doing a wonderful job. Could not ask for anything more, and decided to go to a competitor. That hurt. I would say that was just tough, but that happened as well. So, but to overcome that and realize, hey, you know what, someone leaving our organization for something else, like what are we not doing? Something must not be working or whatever. But sometimes it is maybe a better opportunity for that person. But anyway, it's just one of those things that comes with business. But letting someone go is always very difficult.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great example, because every leader is going to be faced with that exact situation.
Absolutely.
And, sometimes your best people give you the greatest insights on what's happening in your business when they leave.
Absolutely.
Right? Gives you an opportunity to run some 360 feedback, things like this, right? Or sometimes you've got people that you've known for a really long time that have brought a lot of value to the company, and it's just time to part ways.
Absolutely.
That's never easy. Wow, what a great example.
Yeah.
You've clearly learned a lot along the way, and I'm curious, you need to show up every single day, right? And be energized. What do you value most when it comes to habits and routines that allow you to show up as the leader that you are and you need to be?
Well, number one, you got to take care of yourself. I've learned that from someone at this table. But you got to take care of number one, and that's just being right mentally and physically. Start every day, and have that routine. It's set. I mean, this morning I was out.
Yeah.
So it just one of those things that, if I miss, I'm like, I'm not right for the day.
Yeah.
So you got to take care of yourself with good health, good sleep, and exercise, and a little meditation. Just thinking about what this day you're going to do before you go into it, because in our world, just like any other business, obviously, but something that day is going to change. It's going to change it. Something's going to blow up, and you're like, oh well, what I was going to plan on doing with our team, now I had to work on something else. It could be a price increase from a manufacturer that came out of the blue. How are we going to explain this? And then you call and, just, it could be anything.
Yeah.
So how you got to get your mind right, and then you can accept those things that happen. But never, most days don't go purely as planned, but you got to get your mind right. And then, in this talking with our people, when I'm in the office, I go around and see everybody every morning and say, hey, what's going on? Good to see you. I'm not necessarily saying, hey, what's good or bad, but saying, let them know that we can always talk, open door policy. And then, and then our reps call, our outside team will call in, and we'll talk here and there about things, and go from there. But, we're pretty self-sufficient when it comes to letting them do their thing. The numbers speak, so we can follow that track. But but it's just, I wouldn't say any one thing, but there's just a lot of different things that go into it. We all know it.
Yeah, no, I think that's beautiful. You treat your mornings as sacred for you, so that you can be energized, prepared, mentally ready for the day. And like you said, sometimes days don't go the way you expect.
Yeah.
So that allows you to navigate those days. And then you make it a routine to really connect with your team.
Absolutely.
Engage with them, even if it's just popping by, putting a hand on their shoulder, saying, hey, open door policy here. Fantastic.
Yep.
If you were to bump into a young version of you, okay, stepping into his leadership, what advice would you give Bo today?
Oh my goodness. Wow, that's a great question. Never. I would say be patient.
Mm.
You got to be patient. In this world, it's just one of those things where uh, you always think that things needs to happen faster than not, but and you always feel like I have to run to do something. You just got to slow down,
Yeah.
let things kind of lie out, listen to two sides of there's two sides of every story. You got to listen.
Right. Yeah.
But I would say be patient, be a little more patient. And I think I've developed that.
Yeah.
Sometimes my wife wouldn't say that, but I think I have in the business world to realize, hey, you know what? It's not always as bad as it seems, and it's not always good as it seems.
Yeah.
And so, in any situation, whether it be, a salesman having a problem with a customer or vice versa, or a customer having a problem with us, we got to make sure we kind of slow down, take a breather, and see what's going on to get through it. And generally, we have because being with a 60-year-old agency, I think over the time we've done a pretty good job of that.
Yeah,
but we're not perfect, but we try to be.
Great advice. Great advice. And I love that it's not only about being patient, it's about using that patience to look at the different perspectives.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What are you most excited about in the near future in the industry, in your business? And what does that mean for Bo? How does he need to show up?
I'm excited about the future at Smith and Stevenson in our agency. We have some young people that have come in, and it's great to see that. We moved into a new facility. That's so exciting to me. I mean, if you don't love what you do, you just not work.
Yeah.
And I love coming in and dealing with our customers. We're 100% relationship business. That's what we do. We're a sales company.
Yeah.
We don't make anything, we're not manufacturing anything. We're working for other manufacturers. So it's all about the relationship of what we do every day. And that's what excites me, is about nurturing, developing and increasing our relationships in the market, because we know who the players are, but sometimes they change and we got to keep on top of that. But that's what excites me, Dave, is the relationships, whether it be with our people, with our customers and our manufacturers.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Well, look, thank you so much, Bo. Really appreciate you taking the time.
Absolutely.
I know that your journey can inspire a lot of other leaders to really step into their leadership and lead with purpose and grow and keep doing, taking this journey to a place where they can really thrive and enjoy what they do as well. So thank you for taking your time.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate it.
Chris, you've been great.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Cheers. Great work, man.
Appreciate it.